Today on Running to Him.
Now, there are times when we as Christians must refuse to do certain things. If you're joining us in going through the books of Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther, today's reading is Esther chapter 2, verses 21 through 3:5, and we'll concentrate on verses 2 through 4 of chapter 3. Esther 3:2, verses 2 through 4 says this: "All the king's servants who were at the king's gate bowed down and paid homage to Haman. For the king had commanded concerning him. But Mordecai neither bowed down nor paid homage. And then the king's servants who were at the king's gate said to Mordecai, 'Why are you transgressing the king's command?' Now it was when they had spoken daily to him, and he would not listen to them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's reason would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew." Well, is it ever right that we as Christians refuse to follow governmental orders? A few days ago, we discussed that when we as Christians could disobey a government order and still be consistent with what Paul writes in Romans 13 and Daniel shows in Daniel 1:8. We are to generally follow the rules and regulations of our government, except when it explicitly goes beyond God's commands. Now, Polycarp was the bishop of Smyrna. He was born in 69 AD and he was martyred in 155 AD, so he was very old. When he came before the proconsul, he was asked to renounce Christ. He stated that he could not do that, saying, 86 years I have served him, and he has done me no wrong. How can I blaspheme my king who has saved me?" He makes it clear that he was not going to renounce Christ. Now, the proconsul then offered that if he would just claim that Caesar was God, that he would be released. And then Polycarp made this statement, which pertains to our environment today. "So, as far as you are concerned, I should have judged you to be worthy of a discussion, for we have been taught to give honor, as is proper, to the rulers and authorities appointed by God, provided it does not harm us." Now, it was perfectly acceptable to dialogue with the proconsul or follow the Roman law up to the point that it would do no damage to the relationship between him and Christ. This information affords us with the ability to make our decisions as to the extent that we interact with secular governments. Now, up until the early 2000s, the federal government was not overtly hostile to religion as a whole and Christianity as a subset. There were indeed times in our history where certain groups were resisted, but as a general rule, the government stayed out of religion. Now, that has significantly changed since 2009, and particularly with this COVID thing. And the government is becoming more and more intrusive as the years pass. If the present trend continues, Christians may be forced to evaluate specific laws that are against our beliefs. It is then we will have to choose to obey God or the government. We need to resolve today what our answer will be before we have to make a choice. Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. If you listen to us on Facebook or YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. You can always email us at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.